Okay, the tigers are done. Now let's get our equips in order, and we are going to go recruit some knights to help us with Ivory King. Right. Recharge our spells. We don't actually need to change our spells. We still have Fall Control, 3 Yearns, and a Homeward from last split, and that's exactly what we want. So we're going to buff Fall Control, toss out a Yearn, and we're going to run. We are heading to the big drop of Alea Mois. There are effectively 2 ways to handle this drop, and I'm going to show what both look like. First, we just Yearn around. Watch for Forlorn invading up here. You don't actually need to Homeward out for this Forlorn invasion. You can just keep running. Guess he won't be able to follow us through the drop very well. Okay, no Forlorn. Looks like we're clear. Alright, so the quick approach, which is my preference. We toss a Yearn here, we run. We do not cast another Yearn. We just run straight through this next opening, turn left, follow the wall, run off the edge. Works very, very well. Slow approach is use another Yearn and run in here. Be careful though, because this guy will attack you with his first. He will not target the Yearn for his first shot, so you gotta be careful about that. You also have to watch out for any crossfire from these other enemies. The pro to this approach is that you can line up your drop very easily there. With the quicker approach, you just turn through the door and sprint off the edge, parallel to the wall, before the enemies can possibly do anything. And that is my preference. I do like that approach better. The downside is if you're not confident in that angle, if you misjudge your angle running off the edge there, and then you could die for a missing pull. Just outrun the dogs, by the way. They can't actually catch you as long as you manage your stamina well. So yeah, take your pick. The downside to the slow approach is you have to deal with the enemy's attacks and any crossfire. Downside to the fast approach is that you got to make sure you get your angle right. So whatever works best for you. One more thing to note though. Do not jump when doing that drop. If you jump, the extra height from the jump will make it a death fall. You will die even with fall control. So do not jump. Very, very important. Okay, now we're moving on, going to the first night. We need to do this night first because of the invaders. We'll talk more about that when we get invaded soon. Right, make sure they're not targeting us. Good. We're not being attacked. Keep the Yearns up. Good. We left another one over here. This guy's first shot might still target us. So I'm going to trigger that. Fall back. Then we'll recast another Yearn, and then we'll go. Move off Yearn, keep on running. Now this is where we get invaded. This is actually helpful because this invader just sits along a path camouflaged, but we're never going to go that direction. So this invader is not actually a threat at all. And he's going to help us with the next invader. Toss out another Yearn before we round this corner. We want to make sure that's active. So hopefully these guys won't target us at all. Good. So we can just run through here and get to the first night. Now we're not going to Homeward out because we want to be invaded. Because we're already invaded, when we go to the next night where there's an invader waiting for us, we can't be invaded again. So it's going to make that path a bit easier. Right, this dropped us some damage. Let's put on cat boots. Though we didn't have plenty of health, we would survive. Alright, so now these guys tend to throw their spears, and their first attack might not target the Yearn. So we're going to toss out a Yearn to be safe. But then we're going to go out and trigger them. Once we see them moving, we're going to hide over here. They'll do whatever they're going to do. Then we'll cast another Yearn and run. We're almost out of Yearns because I wasted a couple demonstrating the slow approach for the big drop. So I'm probably going to use an herb to re-up to get those spells back. But normally you won't need an herb here. In any case, we have plenty of them. We'll be fine. So now we're going for the next night. Let's burn one of these herbs. We've got so many herbs. We're not going to need. Okay. So normally we would get invaded going down this path, and then we have to deal with the enemy. But because we're already invaded from going after the first night, we can't be invaded again. So this is a very easy approach. Just going to cast a couple Yearns. Keep this guy busy. Go get our friendly knight, and then we can homeward out. One more Yearn to be safe. We got the knight. We are clear. Alright, so now we're ready for Ivory King. But before we do Ivory King, we're actually going to go do a couple of Darklurker Chasms. Because the build that we are going to switch to for Ivory King is also really good for Darklurker, but it's not good for 2 of the Darklurker Chasms. So we're going to clear out those Chasms while we're still on our Great Dex build. And then we can go do the respec for Darklurker and Ivory King. First up, let's see, we're going to need a Southern Ritual Band here. Spells, we want Dark Fog, Sacred Oath, and Homeward, just in case of the Forlorn. And we're going to the Shaded Runes Chasm. Let's set up RTS. Actually, no, let's check for Forlorn first. Do we get a Forlorn? No, so we don't need Homeward anymore. Great. So we can drop a Southern Ritual Band. And now, let's set up RTSR. And we'll talk to Grendal, get this chasm done. Okay.
Yeah.
Enter his Covenant. I'm actually not sure if this is strictly necessary for fighting Darklurker. I think it is. I think you can't enter without being in Covenant. In any case, give him that effigy. Prepare for this chasm. We're going to want Poison and Magic Arrows and Stone Ring. That's very important. Don't forget the Stone Ring. Let's go. This chasm is not too complicated. There are only 4 enemies. The key is to kill the archer first. Also, don't run off the cliff into an abyss. There are some random holes in some of these chasms you want to be careful about. Right. So we're going to buff Sacred Oath, because why not? So that it's not strictly necessary. I'm going to prepare the bow. Remember, we've got Stone Ring ready. Now we're going to step out here. There are 2 enemies. One kind of wanders around. He's not in the way. If the other enemy is kind of in the way, you want to wait for him to move away so you can get a clean shot at the archer. We're going to poke at the archer. He kind of staggers back to the side because there's a wall behind him. Watch out for that. Poison him, fall back to the high ground, shoot him as he comes through this gap. Easy kill. Okay. If anything goes wrong there, you can retreat all the way back to the start of the chasm. He should de-aggro. At the very least, this should be a safe spot for you to feather out and try again if you really need to. But hopefully it won't come to that. And yeah, it's important to attack the archer, not the other enemy, because if you attack the other enemy first, then the archer will also aggro, and that's not fun. So we get just the archer. And once he's clear, we can step out, find the other enemy. Where's he at? There he is. And this guy's very easy when he's on his own. He's a melee enemy. He has no range. Not too much health. He goes down pretty quickly. Not much threat at all here. Just poison him, snipe at him, Stone Ring helps. Great. Okay. Now for the Witch Tree Spirit. This Forest Spirit in the back. He hasn't even loaded in yet. Can't see him in this range. We have to be very careful here. You step out. 3 quick shots. And then get out. Get out fast. that enemy can fire some miracles, including Emit Force, which can be very scary because it has an explosive AoE that can hit you even if you dodge the main shot. So, terminate that one with Extreme Prejudice, take no chances. And now, here we go. We'll light the sconce, and then we're going to go clear the chasm. To fight Darkler, you have to light the torches and also clear all the enemies and walk out the exit. No feathering out or anything like that. So just one enemy left, and it's pretty free. We rebuff Oath because, again, why not? But this last enemy is very easy. It's another melee enemy, and we have the high ground. You can probably just walk out of this enemy and lock on if you want. Not much threat here. Pretty easy fight. Good. Alright. Now we have to walk out here. That completes the first chasm. Next stop is the Gulch Chasm. We'll warp to Rotten's bonfire. We're going to go to Rotten's Foggate to lose the invader. You could also set up RTSR in the fire in Rotten's arena if you want. I feel more comfortable setting up with Sanctum Mace like we normally do. Okay. Oh, that's not right. Wrong item. Let's try that again. My bad. It helps if you drink your Estus. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use fire bombs to clear these statues because that's what I'm most comfortable with. Lose the invaders at the fog gate, then we'll backtrack to get to the chasm. Got plenty of fire bombs, don't be afraid to use them. We're not really going to need them much after this. Didn't mean to light that guy, but that's okay. Get this one as well. That will do nicely. All the statues are done. What the Nightcrawler dude is going to do. And we drop down to Grendel. Here we are. Okay. Let's open up this chasm with another effigy. And we'll go again. This chasm is a little trickier because there are some Pyromancer enemies that can be pretty dangerous if you're not careful. So the key for this is controlling their aggro. To start, we're going to buff Sacred Oath because why not? Once again, we have Stone Ring at the ready, very important. And it's mostly going to be bow and poison arrows. So to begin, we're going to step here, let this enemy see us. Do not attack him. Do not attack him there. If you shoot him where the Pyromancer can see him, then the Pyromancer can aggro and come chasing after you, and that's very bad. We wait for him to get up here where we can attack him safely. This guy is no threat. Half the time he just rolls away from you. And he's very slow. So you should have no trouble whatsoever Taking him out. Easy. And when we're fighting this guy, this forest spirit should walk up and then fall down. Yep, there it is. So now we can hit him with Dark Fog. But before we do this, we want to ready Lens Ring, just in case the Pyro aggroes. The Pyromancer can aggro when we attack the spirit. It's possible, not too likely, but possible. So we want to be ready for that. With Lens Ring. Alright, I think we are clear. Let's just let that poison do its job. Good. And now we're going to find the Pyro. I guess we should rebuff Oath. Why not? Okay, so the plan here is to wait till his back is turned. Just gotta get eyes on him. There he is. And wait till his back is turned, and we'll pop out and try and get a quick poison. And then we're gonna retreat to one of two sharp corners. Okay. Good. So we'll drop down over here. Wait for him to come around the sharp corner. Get him in close range. And stunlock him to death with the stone ring and the rapier. One-handed attacks. Right, so that's what we want to happen. If things go wrong, if he aggroes sooner, the plan is to lure him back up here. He'll come running up that ramp. We will hide behind this little alcove here. It's not much, but it's enough to break his line of sight. So he'll come running up right next to us, then we can pop out and stunlock him to death with the rapier. You're going to want Cleanse Ring and probably also Sacred Oath to make sure you're able to stunlock him to death before you run out of stamina. Alright, now we're going to go light the torch. Again, watch out for holes in the ground. Don't fall to your death. And then once you're past the first Pyromancer, that's the hard part done. We still have to get through one more, but it's easier because we have more space to work with. Alright, once again, we'll buff Sacred Oath because why not? We're going to move up here, let the turtle guy see us. But don't attack him yet. We don't want to lure the Pyromancer. Just lure this guy back. Fight him all by himself. Fight him alone up here. Easy kills. Okay. Now that should trigger the Forest Spirit to move over into the corner. Oh, maybe not yet. Forest Spirit hasn't moved yet. That's fine. These spirits are... Oh, Pyromancer aggro. Okay, let's run away. That's fine, we need to aggro him at some point. Get a quick poison, and then we'll just fall back. Run away. Put other sharp corner back here. We can use this corner. Kill him with the rapier if he draws up. He might just drop aggro, which is fine by me. He wants to fall back. Great. Yeah, these forest spirits are much less dangerous than the ones in the Gulch Chasm. They use sorceries, which travel a lot slower and don't have such big explosive AoEs. Also, this one tends to get stuck in the little corner there. He can't actually get up the ramp. Pathing just doesn't work. So we can just poison him without actually entering his line of sight. Almost done. Okay, now we're gonna once again wait till his back is turned. Oh, that didn't work. Alright. Let's just fall back. If he comes after us, we use the rapier. If he resets, then we shoot him with the bow. Patience pays off. Take this slow and steady. Looks like he has reset. That'll do. Alright, chasm's clear. Got a little sloppy at the end, but good enough. As long as you're careful, shouldn't be fine. Alright, so that's 2 chasms down, and now we can go respec. And we'll take care of Dark Lurker and Ivy King. But that'll be another split. We're done here.